Good evening, my LinkedIn family. Welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Chat with Amita, Sri Lanka's first LinkedIn live talk show. Today is the 12th episode, and we are going to talk about a very unique subject today. And before we do that, let me talk about the show. At the same time, I also want to let you know that the talk show is simultaneously streamed to my Facebook page and my YouTube channel as well. So, talking about the show and about me, I am an executive coach. I'm a personal branding strategist, as well as I'm a sales performance evangelist. I help organizations, especially those in B2B, to enhance their sales performance. I help individuals and professionals to get their personal brand to a different level, an elevated level. And then I also coach executives, senior executives, especially CEOs, to realize their highest potential. So I've been on LinkedIn for quite a while, and then I got LinkedIn Live, and then I was thinking, how best could I add value to my LinkedIn family? And then what I did was I actually went online, live rather solo, and then later on I realized if I want to add more value, I need to bring some experts to the show so that we could talk about a particular subject to enhance everybody's knowledge. And then I've been running it for about 2.5 months. This is the 12th episode. And today's episode is very special because I'm also going to talk with someone whom I know for some time, who also supposed to be a mentor for me as well, right, in life. Even though I'm a senior, I'm a coach, but then even a coach could need sometimes a mentor time to time. So this gentleman also is happened to be one of my mentors whenever I need a hand. So uh, today's topic is about how to think big and how to act big. I mean, you always hear this statement: think big and act bigger, think big and act bold. But then, how can we do it? Let's learn it from someone who has done it in his personal life and in his professional life as well. So, let me invite Mr. Herman Gonzal to the show. Good evening, Mr. Herman.
Good evening, Amita. How are you?
Thank you for coming to the show. Thank you for agreeing to come, even though you are a very busy person, to talk about how to think and act big. So, before we get into the show, let me uh, talk to or say hi to few people who are joining as usual. So, we would say hi to Vijita. She says, "Hi, Amita, good luck for the session." And Chamit says thumbs up, and Amjad says great initiative. Thank you, Amjad, for joining the show as usual. All three of them have actually joined from LinkedIn. So, Mr. Herman,
Yeah,
now I didn't ask for a bio. Usually, what I do is I don't read anybody's bio, but I rather ask about themselves. So, my first question, I would
yes.
want to know a brief about you up to your first job and the industry.
Well, I am a hotelier by profession, so this is my 50th year in the hotel industry. So I
How
started
many
when I
years you
was
said?
50 years. 50 years. Now I am
Oh,
70
50 years in
plus.
the hotel industry. Okay,
Yeah, but
that's
because
quite a
I am
lot.
not directly involved, but of course in the new project and feasibility study and directly or indirectly, I am involved in the hotel industry still. And I started when I was 20 as a minor staff in a hotel. So 50 years there, and
Okay.
last 20 years, I was with the construction industry too. And in the hotel industry, I started as a minor staff, and one day I saw my general manager, Mr. Downer, is a Swiss. He was under a fridge. So in fact, I asked one of my colleagues, Kenny, "Lokka munada karanne, සීතල පෙට්ටියට." So he told me, "ඒකේ පොඩි වැරද්දක් තියෙනවා, ඒක හදනවා." So I told, okay. But I always ask question, why? So I went to GM's room after a while. I got the permission from the secretary. So I went and I asked him. So I saw you under a fridge. What was doing? So he told me that the fridge is not cooling enough. So he was adjusting the thermostat. Then my next question was, one Mr. Oliver De Silva was there. He's our chief engineer. And I asked him, so this is Mr. Oliver De Silva's job. So what you are doing? Then he told me, son, I started as a dishwasher in a hotel. And if you work in each and every department only, you are going to understand the hotel industry. At that moment, it sparked, and I thought, definitely, I'm going to be a general manager. From there, so that is big thinking. I was only a minor staff. So from there, I want to be a general manager. So it took 4 years plus, or less than 5 years, from minor staff to general manager. It took about 5 years.
So you mean to say at that point you thought big?
Yeah, very big.
One day I will become.
Yeah, it is not small, big. It is very big. And immediately I started working in other departments. We get 8 days off for a month. So with the HR department permission, from 1st to 8th, I work in the kitchen, maintenance, telephone operation, front office, back office, different places I worked. Really worked. And got the knowledge. Then I got a break to go to Switzerland for 4 years as a management training. So came back as a general manager, one of the hotels.
Okay. So, I mean, there itself, I think we have an example about the importance of thinking big, right? So I would like to look at still it's about you. Then from the hotel industry, you moved into construction industry. If you could let
correct.
me know a little bit about your move. Yeah.
In fact, I retired from the hotel industry because hotel industry is very hectic. And I was headhunted when I was 50 years old. And they took me as the managing director CEO of a construction industry where we built apartments and houses. And it was about 25 million investment project. So last year I retired from there. So I left 6,000 million, reserves. So very cash-rich company.
Okay. So then currently you are the national president for Pick a Book. Could you kindly explain a little bit about Pick a Book?
Yeah, that is good
even
that you told little bit. Otherwise, I would have taken the whole program to explain the Pick a Book. But anyway, Pick a Book, it's a club where we encourage people to read books and summarize and present it for the members. So for a year, you will go through about 48 different books. So I doubt very much, how many can read 48 books of it. So that is a good opportunity. We had different type of clubs. Public club we have, so anybody can get the membership. And we have corporate in the corporate sector, big corporate. So we are in there, and schools and universities which are moving in, and the community. Those are the 4 areas. In addition to that, we started this in Sri Lanka. And in fact, this is the first time, if I'm not wrong, something we started in Sri Lanka and we are going international. So immediately we are in India, very big way. and already in Singapore and already in UK. Maybe end of this year, we will be at least about in 15 countries we will be covering up, and already negotiations are going on.
Superb. Now, each time when I talk about your past experience and your work related life, I don't hear anything, but I hear about thinking and acting big only. I don't know whether we should take this conversation forward because you have already given me examples of thinking big. Let's say hi to few of our friends. We have Kasun Heva Mallika who says, nice to see you both. Thank you, Kasun. And we have Pasan who says hi to us. Viraj says hi to us. And of course, then we have Gayan. And then we have Sridharan. We also have someone from Dubai commenting, Rajit Vitana. He's talking about looking for a job in hotel industry. So whoever is actually watching this show, he has already commented. So what you need to do is get in touch with him because he has already put the contact numbers as well. So Wazir, thank you. And we have Callum as usual who comes to the show. And we have Mervin who says hi. Thank you very much, all those well wishers who generally join my show. It's a great thing to have, a loyal fan base to carry out this kind of a show on a weekly basis without any fail. So, Mr. Herman, I would like to ask, even though you showed me some big goals, even in your current position as the president of this Pickup Sri Lanka, but then you told me that there will be a lot of things that will happen. Can you explain a little bit about thinking big?
Thinking big, nobody is going to stop you thinking big or small or whatever it is. But I think we born negative. We are born negative. When a child tries to climb a pear tree, we will tell Pute Bate. We never tell Harisiming Nagin. Those things we never tell. We always tell Pute Bate. And the hero he knows is his parents. So the parents are telling, can you climb the tree? No, we will fall. So from there itself we go negative, totally negative. So you're going to think big, nobody going to stop you and you don't need to pay anything. So why can't you think big? In fact, recently one of my very close friends, he told me he thought that he is thinking very big. But after meeting me, he told his thinking is not even, size of a tennis ball or whatever it is. So compared with my thinking is nobody going to audit or nobody is going to tell. People may criticize, but you take risk. I am now in my 70s, so throughout, I can talk to you maybe days, different incident now it took place and other things or not. So nothing is going to stop. So you tell yourself, I am going to think big. Why not? And whoever I meet or whatever it is, I always tell think big. So in fact, small
Exactly.
incident. When I was 69, I went for a drumming class, and I was speaking to him. It was very, very small shop and he asked me who is going to come for drumming. I told me. I asked, is it okay? Then he told absolutely okay. And I asked him, what is your earning? That's an unnecessary question. But still I asked him. Then he told it's about 23,000 rupees. I told nothing to him. Very soon you have to make it 50,000. Then he asked me how. Then I explained. And after 3 months, I checked with him, and he was earning 83,000 rupees. Otherwise, he was so happy with 23,000 rupees. So I have to think on his behalf. So I always, wherever I go, I think very big on their behalf.
That's a great thing. So for the audience who are listening to us, remember, we are getting it from a 70 plus year person. He's a very senior person, and imagine he was advising someone at the age of 16. So I can see that thinking big has been right throughout with your life. So let's say hi to few people. So we have Shaheen Mahir, great person, lot to learn from Mr. Herman. And Priyan Karunaratne, nice to see you both. Thank you, Priyan. Thank you for joining us. We have Prabodhi, really proud of you, Herman sir. I'm sure she knows you, Mr. Herman. We also have Nishadi Veragala. Hi, Amita and Mr. Gonzal. Wishes for a fabulous 2021. Great topic to start the new year. Yes, we have to think big. And okay, Susita says, think big, start small. Yeah. So uh, we are not going to have a debate on it. So now I also want to ask you, Mr. Gonzal, like what is acting big? Can we think, I mean, can we only think big or should we also act big?
Definitely, you have to act big. The problem is, we dream and we dream big, but it is not going to just come. You have to contribute, and you have to wisely and hard working, and the contribution and continuous. The hard work is only going to bring. I'll give a very small example. Maybe about two
Yeah,
years
please.
back, we started a apartment project, right?
Okay.
So my chairman wants to finish the project. That is 688 apartments at 5 million rupees, and he want to finish the project. He told Herman, make sure in 36 months' time you are going to sell and finish it off. Otherwise, we are going to have a problem. It was very, very, very thin margin we had. Then I am a dreamer. So I came home, I was dreaming, though I decided, so many months' time we are going to sell this. Of course, I always, it's the participative management. I consult my general manager, and the executives. So we had a brainstorming session. The best result I got it is 6 months' time. So I told nothing doing. We have to sell it in 2 months' time. So they got a shock and they told me, sir, please don't tell chairman. But my style is I always commit and I announce. You achieve or you don't achieve is a different thing, but you have it open. So I told no, I'm going to tell the chairman, and the following day I told chairman. So chairman told, okay, all the best, you do it. And if I ask Amita, how many months we took to sell this 688 apartments? If I ask you,
You are a doer, no? I think you would have done what you committed.
we did it in 2.5 months time. 2.5 months time,
Wow.
no one believed, but I believed in myself and with the team. I didn't sell a single apartment, definitely not. I only direct, and they sold 688 apartments in 2.5 months time. So I want to take the boys out. I went to Chairman. I told I want something. He told okay, no problem. How much you want? I told 500,000. Immediately approved. So the whole team went to a hotel, and we from Friday, Saturday, Sunday we stayed and enjoyed and whatnot. So it is not only the
Yes.
dreaming, but of course your contribution and your commitment, continuous commitment. Sometimes Sri Lanka we have the commitment, but halfway you change or what you don't believe in yourself. So that is very very needed. The commitment is very very much
So
needed.
So can I ask you this also? It's also related to our culture. So you see someone is very determined and thinking big and he's ready to work hard, and the fellows or friends or the inner circle might tell him, Who can do that, man? Are you nuts? Why don't you just be realistic? The word realistic comes in. Oh, you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, yeah, true. The problem is, if you, as I mentioned you about the prayer tree, so that is in the morning, and what you are talking is in the afternoon, and in the night you go to the temple. The priest says, but whatever you think, it is never happened. You are thinking that you want to go to Dubai or maybe wherever it is. So he says it never happened. So you know what is happening, but you think it is not going to happen. So you are believing in yourself or not. That is the problem. That is the culture. That is the environment. Uh, So I have experience, whenever I commit myself and tell something, even the chairman also, sometimes he has his own doubt on the reservation of things or not. So that commitment and believe and take the challenge, and it is not for money or anything like that, but that is the satisfaction what you get. So that commitment is
Yeah,
necessary.
I know. Okay. So uh, we have few more to take. Eranda, great motivator, really proud of you, sir. And then, okay, we have a question from Ruan. I know, Ruan. Thanks,
Yeah.
Mr. Amit and Mr. Herman, sharing your experience. I have a pediatric question. Thinking big is possible, and acting bigger is the hardest part. Any
Absolutely.
advice?
Absolutely. Hardest part is, only thing, if you're starting, the discipline is necessary. So you're starting office at 8:30. So everyone has to be there at 8:30. So you start it and start positive and continue. 2 3 days will come in time, and 2 days, little late. Maybe 5 minutes late or 3 minutes late or whatever it is. Late is late for me. It is not 1 minute late also late for me. Sometimes I close the office. Even for general managers, I lock the office. I can see it through the glasses, but I won't open it. So the discipline is very, very necessary. That which you have to maintain. So with the discipline, the other things sets in, and you need the commitment. Maybe working on Saturday. True enough, it's workaholic. We must understand family, the office balance, and everything. But of course, that is it. You know, that should, my life experience is, whether it's my family life or working life, is a hotel or construction industry, or maybe pick a book. Pick a book also a big change what you can see there. So it is the thing that you want to do it, you will do it. You definitely will do it. Sometimes, I say 2 months, it went 2.5 months. Otherwise, you would have taken 36 months. My 36 month salary, my vehicle, my driver, all the people are working, and we had a budget of 47 million marketing budget. So we, for this 2.5 months time, we spent 17 million only. So their saving alone is over 30 million. So those are the things going to contribute.
Yeah,
I
I
hope
know.
I
I
answered
mean,
this question.
even for someone who is in sales,
Yeah,
yeah, of course. So even for someone who is in sales or an entrepreneur, you can achieve the same revenue over a period of 12 months, or you can actually make it shorter, achieve the same thing in 6 months with an extra commitment and extra
absolutely.
discipline, and
Yeah.
then maybe enjoy the balance 6 months. Yeah. So Ruan,
So
I hope you got
you
the
need
answer.
that
We
commitment.
have
You need
Pasan
yeah,
here.
you need the
Yeah.
commitment.
So
Otherwise,
we have Pasan
definitely.
who says thank you, Herman sir. Yeah. So we have Pasad Jayasekar who says thank you, Herman sir and
Thank
Mr.
you,
Amit
thank
for
you.
sharing your great experience, which gives a great commitment. We also have a LinkedIn user who says, everybody's thanking and wishing us happy New Year. I think this is a great
Thank you,
topic to
thank you.
start the New Year. Now, most of the
Yes,
time, when people start the New Year, they commit themselves. I'm going to reduce my weight by 5 kilos. I'm going to do maybe 30 minutes of yoga. And then after 3 months, after 6 months, probably you will gain weight. So this is where the commitment and discipline would come and play a role. So those who have joined us from LinkedIn and from Facebook, whoever is coming from YouTube, if you have a comment, if you have a question, ask this veteran. He's 70 plus years and then worked in many industries, and I know for a fact that he helped a lot of youngsters whenever they ask a question. And he's also working as a consultant in some of the industries with his vast experience. So maybe you could get good answers if you ask the right question here. So take this opportunity. You don't get to see him every day. Okay, let's look at another question from my side.
yes.
Okay, we also have Niroshana. Yeah. Niroshana say, excellent, sir, proud of you. My next question to you, now, what are the limitations to think big if you are working for somebody? Let's say that I am working under a manager or under
Yeah,
a boss. Now,
yeah,
I am thinking big, but my boss is not thinking big. He's, let's say, my boss is playing safe.
yeah.
I think now, like you, I would think, okay, we can achieve 40% more, whereas my boss might think that I can achieve 5% more.
Yes.
What can we do?
But if you put it in a single word or couple of words, but you explain, these are excuses. These are excuses. Either you tell, the upper part is, not allowing you to do it, or the lower part is not allowing you to do it. These are excuses. You have to be creative. You have to be creative. Say about 30 years back, when I was a hotelier, again a small incident, the foreigners come and stay 2 weeks
Yes, please.
in the hotel. Then they get little bored, so we have to make
Okay.
animation. Animation is not this, IT animation, but of course you have to give them games and other things and all. So you have to make them engaged. So during around 11, 12 o'clock, I introduced a game
Okay.
called Crab Race. Crab Race, right? So
Okay.
now Amita also thinking, how
Crab
can you
race.
have a race? Crab race. So how can you have it? So always I tell the story, right? Okay, we have little time. So crab race, how you do it? Crab never runs straight, but you are going to have a race. But race, what you mean by race? Okay, 50 meters, 100 meters, or 1000 meters, it is the distance. So what we do is, we have this small kakutto. So we number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we sell this to the tourist at a price. And we have the seafood grill by the side, by the side of the pool. And anybody win, they can have free seafood grill. And we number this, and we put a small round in the middle, and there's a bigger round around that. So we put this the crab into a small glass. So they have to empty the glass. They have to put the crab in the middle round. So this will start running. Which side? Left, right, front, rear, or whatever the side. The first crab cross the bigger round is the first place. Sometimes they go out and come in also, right? The which crab is going to, so that is crab race. So that is very creative. The foreigners, there is like a Godeyata magic, right? So it is not only, whether you're convincing your bosses or not or whatever it is, find a way out. You have all the excuses. You can tell, Chairman is not allowing me to do this. So it is your duty to go and convince him. So you can have a race with crab. That is 30 years back what I am talking. No? Everywhere there's a way out. Go out.
Okay.
Don't wait.
So
Don't tell.
so if there's a yeah yeah so if so if there's a hurdle, be creative.
Be creative. Totally creative.
That's what you say.
And
Be
and don't
creative.
worry, don't worry about others, but they are going to tell and you are mad and all. Don't worry about others. You do it. You believe it, do it. That's it.
Okay. That's a good one. No excuses. Be
No excuse.
creative. I love those
Be creative.
two answers. Be creative. No excuses. Yeah. So, but then I have this question also. Isn't it bad to be over ambitious? Now we have heard things like "Angelle taramata idimiya," you
Oh,
know,
yes.
and we have so many idioms to say that be content with what you have. Don't try to do bigger things. Also, you have
Yeah.
anything to say to that?
The bigger thing, definitely, you have to calculate, and you have to be. You must have the knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge, definitely you can ask the people. I am still learning from my gardener, or maybe my the office assistant, or maybe who is pouring tea for me. I respect them, and I am learning also from them. If you think that you have learned and you are there, it's not going to help. So even those who give ideas and other things and all, right? So we have to seriously think about that, and whatever we can pick it up, we can pick it up. There are so many, maybe small things, and small things you put it together, it is huge, which you won't believe. It is so big. It is so big. So that is in your
Okay.
hand.
So my next, yeah, definitely, it's within your control. My next question would be, what is the connection between habit forming or habits and thinking big or acting big? Is there a connection between habits and thinking and acting?
Yeah. First thing, it has to spark in you. You must come, it has to, somewhere it has to spark. Where my spark came is my mother, when I was about 15 years old, she told, my family is an average family, and she told Uta that you study well and go to a good job, and you have to buy your car, and you must take me in your car, which I did. That sparked. So I want to be big, not that I want money and only money or whatever it is. But in fact, in my lifetime, I haven't done a single job. It is my hobby, it's a passion. It is what you enjoy. It is what you enjoy. That is what's happening. So sometimes, you get up early morning, early morning you can't get up also. One day you mentioned, the alarm is going twice or thrice or maybe 4 times. And you somehow or other get up and wash your face and put the shoes and go to the work. Not that you want to go, but you look upon Saturday you think tomorrow no work, and Monday morning you are going for work. So you enjoy that. That is what is going to matter. You enjoy that, right? So I am telling you that I didn't do a job in my lifetime. So I enjoyed the life. When you enjoy, even your system would feel it. That you are enjoying. You're playing, I don't know, tennis, cricket, or whatever it is.
Yeah. So, okay, we have Rasika joining from Facebook, and he says, "I'm thinking bit. I have no idea how to do it, or how to act on it." So I know you already told us, but then maybe if you want to give advice to Rasika, he can think big, but he doesn't know what to do after that.
That's the thing, I'm a hotelier, I'm a all rounder. So you talk about maintenance, I'll talk to you maintenance. You talk about what, I'll talk to you what. You talk finance, I'll talk to you finance. But I have only mathematics pass. But you take that interest and you start learning. That is also thinking big. Right? I can sit with any qualified chartered accountant or what it is. I can talk finance. So like that, you have a project. It's a big project for you. Very good. Then you sit back and do a feasibility study. I don't know how many people understand the feasibility studies. I can make a feasibility study. Generally, the accountants make the feasibility study. So you have to be all round and you go all out and see. Don't find excuse because I am not a figure man. No, I am not a engineer. No. So how the air conditioning is working, I can explain you. Right? But I am not an engineer. Right? Even my housing and construction industry, sometimes the engineer comes and asks me, because I am not an engineer, I give an idea. So there was a canopy in just on the main entrance, it was leaking. So they were discussing for a while and they asked Mr. I immediately told, paint it. Right? Paint the canopy. They don't use good because the water is not going to come through the paint. So simple. But maybe engineer, he doesn't see that. So you have your project, right? So whatever the knowledge you have, if you don't have the knowledge, definitely you have to seek for the expertise, and you have it in stages. So someone told, uh, think small and make it big or something like that. So that is okay. So if you think big and you start
Yeah, act
from the
small,
from the yeah, you act and
small.
and continuously act, and you do the hard work and do it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rasika. I think you got the answer, but my takeaway from that is maybe learn a little bit more than what you know right now, and that could help you to start at least act small and then slowly take it uh, bigger further. Yeah. So thank you, Rasik, for that question. And then uh, now, this is again something similar to Rasika's question, Mr. Herman, like how to start actioning in a day-to-day life. Now, I can talk about two things. One is the personal life,
Yeah.
and then the same person will go to a job or a business or whatever. Can you
Yeah.
tell a little bit about that?
Yeah, day-to-day life, even hoteliers, a lot of hoteliers, the family failed and other things. So you keep the balance. You keep the balance. As a hotelier, say about over
Yeah.
15 years, I worked 365 days. Monday, Tuesday, my head office. Other days, I am in the hotel. The family come to the hotel where I am working. We was managing about 12 hotels at that time, and we are together. We sleep together. And Sunday we come to Colombo again, and Monday, Tuesday, my head office. So you somehow the balance it. Don't complain. There's no light in the room, so lit a candle. Don't complain. CEB power cut. Don't complain. So everything, what we enjoy is no bus, no transport, too much of traffic. Everything we complain. Stop complaining. Go positive. No, find a way out. So one day I was on the Parliament Road. That day driver was not there. After the board meeting, I was driving. I was in the tie and everything. So it was standstill life on the Parliament Road. I removed the tie, removed the shoes, right? Fold the long sleeves, everything. I put the music and I was listening. I know the traffic is not moving. So what can you do? But only thing I was thinking, if somebody open a barber salon on the middle of the pavement, so they can have a mobile chair or something like that. They can lift it and put it, and you can have a haircut during that time. That is what I was thinking. So you can make use of that time. It's going to either moving very slow or it's not at all moving. So you can have a good haircut. That was I was thinking. So
Yeah. So it is important to have a balance and move forward and don't complain.
don't complain. Don't complain.
So, yeah. So Dinuka says to your earlier answer, you should always have an overall idea about almost everything. You need to master one
Yes.
or two things, but it's always good to have an additional knowledge. You
Yeah.
confirm that, Mr. Hamid?
Absolutely, I confirm because I am a hotelier. So hotelier, you just enter that is the front office and the reservation and the maintain so many detail and things. Then you come in, it is food and beverage, right? Bar, so it's a very specialized area, and the food is very specialized area, and the kitchen and etc. So maintain this, air condition, light, and all things, and all the maintenance department is there. So the swimming pool is there. When in back office, HR is a huge, that is the best resources in anywhere. So you have to maintain that HR, very sensitive and so many things. So you maintain that, right? So many things. So we are together, so we are very knowledgeable, the hoteliers. I totally agree.
And then, yeah, and I'm sure that knowledge, even when you come home, the knowledge stays with you wherever you are.
Absolutely.
Now you are at Pick a Book. I'm sure you're solving day-to-day problems so easily.
Yes. And different way of thinking also.
Yeah,
Different way of thinking. And different way of approaching and
yeah.
different way
So
of putting it also.
okay, so we have few comments here. Prabhanjana says, proud of you. And Pasan, hey Herman sir, that you always say be happy, not right. That's one of main part of success. Be happy. Yeah, is main part of success. That's what he says. Yeah, happiness is very important. I mean, when you say don't complain, yes, please go
Yeah,
ahead.
but what I want to tell is, in fact, person I told, generally I brief the staff whether you want to be happy or whether you want to be right. So most of the people think I want to be right, but I give so many examples. Sometimes you're on the traffic, so you keep left. Somebody is coming in front of you, wrong side. He's wrong side, but I am right and he's wrong. But somehow or other I'll give him room because my main target is I want to go to my destination. That's all what I think. I never think that he is wrong or right or whatever it is. And I'm not a teacher to teach each and everyone, you know. So I don't want to teach him, but let's say somehow or other I give him a room, let him go, then I'll proceed, on my way. So I was telling him, don't try to be right all the time.
It's sometimes good to be happy
Happy,
than trying to be.
absolutely. Very very short life, I mean, very short life, 50, 60, 70, or whatever it is. So in that, we try to find and complain and find some fault, and so better avoid all that and be happy. And
Yeah.
who can
So
make you happy? It's yourself, no one else.
exactly. Yeah. So it's like, have gratitude, appreciate what you have, and then move.
Absolutely, absolutely, including your
Okay.
body. These both legs carrying me for last 70 years. No, the heart is pumping for last 70 years. Don't stop. Don't stop. It is pumping. So do you realize that it's pumping? And the brain is so, working so sharp. And the last 70 years it was working. No? So sometimes we forget, we take it for granted.
Yeah.
So even if you
No.
take home, the Amma Tata, whoever it is, they have done so much, but we take it for granted. Even your own wife, she just cook and wait, and
Yeah.
you go and try to find fault with the food also.
Okay, great. I mean, it's not simply about thinking and acting big, but also to appreciate uh, and have gratitude without taking things for granted. Yeah. Okay. Now, I I think we have about another 10-12 minutes before
Yeah.
we conclude. So, comments and questions are welcome. Ask this gentleman who is 70 plus, who has been a hotelier, who has been in the construction industry. Now he's into another great industry and domain. That's books, reading books. It's nation building work, I would say. If you were to give an advice to managers, I know you have had so many managers under you. You would have been a manager for a long time, and you would have also had so many managers. So, in terms of managers, what kind of advice would you like to give?
Managers, one thing is we have to lead, and there are followers. And sorry, and as managers, we have to lead, and the followers will follow. And you have to take it very serious, and you must set an example. And I ask everyone to come at 8:30, and I come at 8:45 because I am the boss. Who's going to question you? So set an example. You know. So lot of places those things are happening, and especially hotels and Saturday Sunday, the GMs and all off. Nice old days we never take off. Saturday Sunday are the busiest days. So hotelier, when others are on leave, then we have to work. Whether it's Christmas, New Year, or singular New Year, or your birthday for that matter, big days we take off on a roster basis. But of course, weekends and all we have to work. But if you are not going to fulfill those things, definitely the manager will fail. Not that every manager is going to pass.
Okay. So, you lead by an example. That is also way of thinking big. If you want to think big, act big, set an example. You as a manager, then things will fall in line. Yeah, that's one. Then I you were a CEO, uh, you are a MD, and my question to you, you are also now consulting some of them in
Yeah.
various businesses. So my question to you is, what is your advice to CEOs and MDs, especially about thinking big? Now we are now, if you hear right, in the environment we hear the pandemic has hit. How can we do this? Let's cut down everything. When I say cut down, the targets, the budget, all that. We get to hear this from business owners. And there are so many people who would advocate, yeah, think very small, or, lie low, go average. So what is your advice to CEOs, MDs, business owners, and entrepreneurs about thinking big? Because it is very important. We are going through this pandemic period.
So I start with maybe a couple of months back, I met my former chairman. So he asked me, how is the economy and what do you think and what do you think about the position Sri Lanka is? And I told him, this is the ideal time to start business. Then he jumped and told me, yes, sir, I think this is the ideal time. In fact, before that also they have started projects, and even during this the COVID time also they are continuing. To tell you the truth, they had a stock of about 4 billion rupees. They have sold so many apartments and houses. Now they don't have a stock like they have a stock, but very small stock. So it is so positive, and you go all out. Everybody thinking negative. Hotel industry, we had so much of bad patches, bomb going in Colombo. So the bomb went in Colombo, Galadari Hotel, Central Bank and all. So my board was in the hotel, and immediately we called for a meeting, and the chairman told, cut down on staff, cut down on light, cut down. So I was telling, yes, he's my chairman. Then the managing director started, he was telling the same thing. Then I got a little annoyed. Then I told, no, I'm not going to cut down on anything, but I'll make sure this hotel will be filled and we'll make a profit, which we did, in 1990s, which we did. So you go positive, and Sri Lankan we were selling, and not that we made a huge profit or whatever, but definitely we made a profit, and we paid a very good service charge. So go positive. Even at the moment the tourism is not doing well, but you can turn it. Believe in yourself, and the government is helping with moratorium and other things and all. So come out. Already Maldives has reached, if I'm not wrong, 1 million tourists for this year, or at least last year, after the COVID. So you go. We have to go. We can't sit back and wait.
Yeah. So we have someone commenting that's Priyanta, great lessons, good program. Thank you, Priyanta. We have a lengthy comment, but I'll see whether I could show. This covers you and me. This discussion is so inspiring. Thought of sharing an experience I have in my life, and I hope I would get permission to do so. This is from Dinuka. And he says, when I was in the first year of my degree, I was only sleeping about 4 to 5 hours per day max. I started working as a trainee, even though I was still a designer, beginner at that time, and did self-studying most of the time when I was at home. My colleagues were asking me, bro, why don't you just stop working hard? Be like us and enjoy. And my answer was, I'm also like you all, but I don't read the rest of the comments because it's too lengthy. However, I get the message. He has been working so hard at the early life. So what happens is when you move on, you are ahead of everybody else.
Others.
Now that is actually thinking big and acting big, right? Mr. Gonzal, I always have this comment. 20% of the society will always do better than everybody because
Yeah.
they think big and they act big. They have discipline. So instead of complaining by looking at them, try to go and join them. And the only way to do is thinking big and acting big. So now we also do this all the time. I had to be very thankful to pick a book. I would have given about 6 to 7 books by now. In every program, it's not a competition. I pick randomly one comment or one question. I think Dinuka deserves a book this time, courtesy of Pick a Book for sharing. Even though I couldn't display this entire answer, a book courtesy of Pick a Book. Dinuka, just inbox me your address and the telephone number. We would make sure Pick a Book will deliver a book, a self-help or a personal development book. So that's for Dinuka Navaratna. Thank you very much, Dinuka, for joining us. And Mr. Gonzal, I think we have come to, I mean, I have asked all the questions, but then I wanted to remind you when you said love what you do, and you said that you have never worked in your life because
Yeah, definitely.
you have not
Definitely.
been working because you loved, yeah. Yeah. So it also reminds me of Steve Jobs, who
Yeah.
said, love what you do. So you don't have to
Yes.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So ask me, I don't work. I just love what I do, and that's what
And a
keep you
small
going.
thing to, yeah,
Any
small thing to
last?
add.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a small
Yes.
thing to add. So Dinuka told that he was sleeping 4 hours for a day, etc. Am I right? Dinuka was mentioning he was
Yeah.
sleeping for 4 hours a day and he was working.
Yeah.
So Dinuka is telling, I slept only 4 hours
Yeah.
for a day. So I'll tell you a small story quickly. My second daughter, right? So she was doing MBA and she was a chief accountant in a very, very big corporate, and she has to work very hard. She reluctantly took over the MBA, and she come home at 6:30. She have a wash, have the dinner, and start studying. She go till 12 o'clock, and then she go to the bed, and she get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and she study again till 6 o'clock. Then she go to work. It was little distant place, so she go. That nice old days, you can't have MBA for 1 year, 2 year. No, it was 3 years. So 3 years she was continuously, but of course while transport she sleep, but on the bed she slept only 2 hours. So sometimes, but we think is, but we are sacrificing or whatever it is, but others also sacrificing, and you sacrifice and you definitely will do very much better, very much better.
Okay. So, Mr. Gonzal, I think we have come to the end of our session. Uh, is there anything now? Our topic was about thinking big, acting big. Uh, I think you have lifetime of experience. Uh, Maybe any last words before we part, which you think you feel any experience other than what you have shared already. Anything to add as the final thoughts?
Yes, a small few words, because in Sri Lanka, what I do is, I won't teach you everything what I know or whatever it is. That is absolutely wrong. You don't need to worry about your career or job or whatever it is. Train the people very openly. Don't worry about undercutting and other things. The undercutting and other things and all, okay, maybe temporary success and all that, but on a long term, my belief is, you know, I started small, then management trainee, then manager, general manager, director, director operation, managing director, CEO. Every stage, whatever I see, I immediately tell them. And I'm a very good HR man. So I go into their private life and other things and all. Any problem solving, on the banking side, financial side. So you don't need to worry. You just give, and the things coming back unbelievable. Believe me, that comes back. If it doesn't come to you, your children will be benefited. Which is a live example in my life. So wish you all
Yeah.
the best, everyone.
So yeah.
Okay,
So
Vahid.
thinking
Thank
big,
you.
yeah, thinking big and acting big also mean having a big heart. That's what you are saying. Have a big
Absolutely.
heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So Mr. Herman Gonzal, thank you very much for coming to the show. And you are a 70-plus-year-old professional. Uh, you are I mean, you have been in many industries. Now you are the national president of Pick a Book Sri Lanka, doing a great service to kids adults and professionals about reading, inculcating this habit of reading and enhancing their professional and personal lives. And today, now it's 9:25 in the night. You decide when I just said, would you like to come on my show? You said, yeah, anytime, Amit. That's a blessing. I personally know you so closely, so well. Thank you very much for being a tower of advisors. You help us in a lot of ways in giving advices, giving a lot of tips. I'll tell one small example for the audience. One day I went to his office, and I went with my 11-year-old son, and then he was moving around the office, uh, and that was after staying there for about 2 hours. I told him, why don't you just sit and wait? Mr. Gonzal told me, Amita, come outside. So I went outside. I knew I was going to get it. He asked me, are you micromanaging your son? I said, no, I don't do that. But I saw you were asking him to sit and stay. I said, yeah, because I thought he was disturbing everybody else in the office. Now I'm talking to the audience. Then he said, no, Amita, does he behave the same way whenever he goes to other offices? I said, no. And he said, Amita, he is behaving because this office, Pickabook office, he feels comfortable. He's like family. So that's why he is behaving like this. So don't micromanage your kids. I have so many grandkids, so I'm telling you with examples. So that is the kind of I came home and I told my wife, this is the this is the advice I got it from Mr. Herman Gonzal today. She said, yeah, it's good, somebody has to advise you also. She was very happy. So thank you very much, Mr. Gonzal. We are blessed to have someone like a fatherly figure around us. And I always believe that your advices should be given to the nation, should be given to the industry. That's why I wanted to bring. And then I know you know many things, but I wanted to pick one special one. This is about thinking big. People who knows you know very well. You always think big and act big. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody who joined. If you think that you're going to miss this show, you can always come back to my LinkedIn profile. You will find this video, or you can go to Amita Gamage's Facebook profile. You will still find this video. Still, if you can't find it, go and look for Amita Gamage on YouTube. You will still find only these videos. These weekly 12 videos will be there on my channel. So thank you very much, everybody. Till we
Thank you
meet
very much.
next week on Thursday at 8:30. Yeah, with another episode of Cinnamon Chat with Amita. Good night and stay safe.
Good night. Thank you very much.